We have a key member of the Young Turks who says that she has left the Democratic Party after she was molested by a homeless man with an erection in Los Angeles. She says she was shamed by liberals for stating that she feared leaving her house after the
In
incident.
2022, it was around March. I was walking my dog. It was not quite dark yet, but the sun was setting. As I'm walking my dog, I see these two guys they were just kind of like moving around weirdly. You know, they seemed kind of manic and their clothes were tattered. So I knew that they were probably homeless. And I also knew that they're probably on something just based on like the twitchy way they were acting. But living in LA, I mean, there's homeless people everywhere, right? So I've never had problems. I didn't think anything of it. But as I was bending down to pick up my dog's mess, one of the guys like grabs me by my hips and he had an erection.
Oh God.
And just starts like humping me. And I didn't know what to do. Like I was terrified. I didn't have a weapon on me.
Yep.
Like I had no way of defending myself.
So I think about my physical safety perhaps on average once a month. But from talking to women, they think about the physical safety multiple times a day, right? Life as women experience it is a completely different thing than from what most men experience.
Didn't know how far it was going to go because it's two guys. I'm by myself with my little dog. It was one of the most terrifying things ever because I'm pretty good at defending myself. In that moment, I just knew there was no option.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And luckily, he stopped and they just laughed at me and walked away as they were laughing at me. And so there was the fear and then the humiliation and weirdly shame. Like I felt ashamed.
We decide, all right, how dangerous our country is. We decide how much violent crime. All right, this was violent crime. This was an assault. And we can determine how much of that we put up with by how severely we punish people who do this. All right, the average felon who gets convicted, he's committed these violent felonies over 10 times on average before he finally gets convicted for one. We just put these guys away for a long, long time, right? There are going to be fewer of them on the streets, and those who remain are going to feel a stronger risk of conviction and a long prison sentence, and they will be less likely to act out in this vicious way.
For some reason, and it was awful. And it was really taking a toll on my mental health because I have to walk my dog, right? So at least 2 or 3 times a day, I'm going outside kind of scared. And so I opened up about this on the show.
Is she married? Because normally you would hope that your husband would step in to protect you.
Not really thinking much of it. And before I know it, I'm starting to get these messages and it's like really, really harsh stuff. And it's about how you are painting a picture of the homeless community. You know, how could you be like this? You know, these are your unhoused neighbors and they need help. A few people accused me of being racist when I had never disclosed the race of the individuals who did this to me. And in fact, they were white. And so like when they started accusing me of being racist, I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you assuming that the people who did this?
Of course.
Yeah, like, I think you might have a problem here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that woke me up. That woke me up because I'm like, oh my God.
They eat their